My people, good morning. Oh, I woke up this morning and I saw this message, and the message was published 25th of this month, 2025. That means yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, because today is 26. Let me read the headline. If Mazen Nnamdi Kanu shows remorse, I will call for his pardoning. Sheikh Ahmed Gumi. This is as good as Sheikh Ahmed Gumi have went to Sokoto prison to see Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Let me just tell you the truth. This is a political statement. This man must have go there. It did not take them time. They know what they are doing and they know the agenda they have in their hands. So Sheikh Gumi must have go to Sokoto prison. We are waiting for the video outcome of it. You know, honestly, this man no get secret and they talk like small boy. Tomorrow, you will see his mouth will open wide. He will say that I went to visit Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and the little boy don't want to repent. The video will come out very soon, and I'm waiting for that video. Anyway, my wonderful people, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are hearing me from. Today is Wednesday, and today happens to be the 26th day in the month of November 2025. Before we proceed, I would like to use this opportunity to beg you, each and every one of you listening to me. I have a question. That is part of the beg why I carry come. Now, this Gumi now be the president of Nigeria, or are we missing something here? When I said that Tinubu is just a caretaker, Eurobastard and baboons on internet, they begin to lambast me. Hey, God have mercy. Oh. Anyway, you see, America is watching. They are seeing all this thing. Tomorrow night you will hear, it's an Igbo man who went to report Sheikh Gumi. It's an Igbo man who went to report Nigeria to the government of, what do you call it? To the government of US. Look at what happened yesterday. Arise TV with, I think, Charles Anagolo and the spokesperson of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, by another guy, said that the DSS and the government contacted the bandits, or rather the terrorists that kidnapped those people in Kwara. So, and tell them to release those, they are holding hostages, then they release them. You know, arrest, nothing. Oh God, that country is laughable. Nnamdi Kanu does not make mistake when he called the country a zoo, and that's exactly what it is. They have seen their season finished. They cannot do anything. They are busy doing bigotry online, while all these idiots are busy destroying the future of their unborn generation. Let us go straight to the reason why we are here this morning. I don't have not much time to waste. I got not much time to waste according to my people. Okay, this one said Nnamdi Kanu, the judgment violated provisions of Nigerian's constitution. Human rights lawyer. Now I talk this one. UK done okay. UK cleric. When they talk cleric, this one Phoebe saying a Muslim cleric. Donnelly asked ICC to issue arrest warrant on Sheikh Gumi. Do you know that most of the Arab countries, if not Turkey is the one working very hard, very tirelessly to make sure that Nigeria is Islamirized. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, even UAE have banned this man called Sheikh Gumi not to enter their country. But those ones are busy using money to sponsor terrorism in Nigeria, using Allahu Akbar as their motto. But they have banned this one because they know this one is terrorist, not to go to their country. But look at this man is moving freely, going to events with the police escort, with the Nigeria police escort and DSS, secret ones. Okay, let us continue with our headline, and then we'll come back. Nnamdi Kanu didn't cause death of 30,000 people in Southeast. IPOB replies, Oduzokalo, call him a pathetic liar, and that is what he is. Anyway, let us read this news, and then we'll come back for more discussions. We'll come back to read some comments. You trust my people. You will even shed tears when you hear all this thing they have here. So please, if you are watching me from Facebook, try to follow us. And in fact, anywhere you are watching me, follow us on all our social media handles. And as you're watching, please kindly subscribe, like, and share. Let it go viral. In all the Islamic cleric, Sheikh Ahmed Gumi has said that if the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, has shown remorse, he would have been at the forefront calling for his release. Gumi made a statement on Tuesday while appearing on a guest on the Morning Brief, a program on Channels Television monitored by Daily Post. His comment comes barely a week after Injustice James Sokoto show of the Federal High Court in Abuja sentenced Kanu to life imprisonment following his conviction on all 7 counts of terrorism filed against him. Wait, before I continue, I beg you, where is that treasonable felon again? I be no day for Nnamdi Kanu again, because I didn't hear it where they read it as a part of the charges against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. I be that one, there for maybe they don't want to use too much too much unlicensed law to jail Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They will put treasonable felon in there so that we know everything. You don't do okay. Anyway, if Nnamdi Kanu, who is in prison for terrorism and threatening to kill our soldiers, shows remorse and calls for peace, I will be at the forefront in calling for his pardoning and amnesty for him, Gumi Ahmed said in his interview. Okay, we don't see the president of Nigeria. Yeah, we have seen it. This is not the first time this man is making this statement. So it is clearly shown that nobody is in Asorok. Tinubu is just, what will I call it? He's just a caretaker, taking care of Asorok for the Fulanis. The Abuja Federal High Court judgment, which convicted the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, violated provisions of Nigeria's constitution. A human rights lawyer, Christopher Chidera, has declared. Kanu, who was sentenced to life imprisonment following his conviction on terrorism charges filed against him by the Nigerian government, is currently serving the prison term at the Sokoto Correctional Center. However, a human rights lawyer and public rights advocate Chidera has picked the holes in the judgment, arguing that Kanu was convicted with repealed and non-existent laws. In a statement on Tuesday, Chidera noted that the judgment of the Abuja Federal High Court was not in line with the Section 36, subsection 12 of the 1999 Constitution, which stipulated that a person shall not be convicted of a criminal offense unless the offense is defined in a written law in force at the period of time, or rather within the space of time. According to him, the law under which Kanu was charged was no longer a written law in force at the time he was convicted. The lawyer faulted the judgment for treating the Constitution as a suggestion rather than the country's supreme law. The Constitution is not a suggestion, it is the supreme law. The Nnamdi Kanu judgment is a legal nullity built on repealed and non-existent laws, the human rights lawyer stated. Chidera further noted that the judgment does not portray Nigeria as a constitutional democracy. The statement added, Nigeria cannot claim to be a constitutional democracy while each court's attempt to convict a citizen under laws that does not exist. The prosecution built counts 1 to 6 on the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act of 2013, a statute that has been repealed and is no longer part of Nigeria's criminal law. Section 36, subsection 12 of the Constitution is unequivocal. A person shall not be convicted of a criminal offense unless that offense is defined in a written law in force at the time. Stressing that a repealed law is not a written law in force, the lawyer argued that the conviction under a repealed law is void. There is no judicial creativity that can cure repeal. Arguing that count 7 of the charge against Kanu is based on a non-existent statute. He added, count 7 claims reliance on the so-called Criminal Code Act Cap C45. There is no such act in Nigeria's statute book, according to the lawyer. He said the Supreme Court of Nigeria itself held that count 7 was defective and ordered it to be corrected. Neither the prosecution nor the trial court complied, further arguing that a court cannot invent jurisdiction over an offense that does not exist in any statute. The lawyer declared a judge cannot rewrite Nigeria's laws from the bench. He faulted the trial court for allegedly ignoring a Supreme Court directive for amendment of count 7 of the charge against Nnamdi Kanu, stating that in any constitutional democracy, a lower court cannot sit in an open defiance of the highest court. The statement further observed that Abuja Federal High Court refused to take judicial notice of the repeal of the law under which Nnamdi Kanu was charged. And it says Section 122 of the Evidence Act makes repeal of a public statute a matter for mandatory judicial notice. Repeated requests to the trial court to take notice were refused. A judge who refuses to acknowledge the very existence of the laws he swore to uphold has abandoned the judiciary oath he took under the 7th schedule of the Constitution. Charges cannot be amended by written address. Sitmus cannot be invented by affidavit. A conviction cannot rest on a law that was never read to the accused. How can a man be tried under one set of laws and then convicted under a different set of laws that were never put before him? Even more astonishing, Count 7 was then tied to SEMA, another statute, both misapplied and statute bad, but a limitation period of 5 years long expired. And with the accused having already spent more than that period in unlawful detention, insisting that the court lacked jurisdiction to prosecute and convict Kanu, the lawyer declared that the IPOB leader cannot be lawfully convicted on repealed or non-existent laws. Demanding Kanu's immediate release, the rights lawyer said his continued detention is unconstitutional. He must be released immediately and unconditionally. To convict a citizen under law that does not exist is not merely a miscarriage of justice, it is the death of legality. Nigeria is better than this. Our constitution demands better than this. And history will remember who stood for the law and who stood against it. UK cleric Donnelly asks ICC to issue an arrest warrant on Sheikh Ahmed Gumi. A United Kingdom-based Catholic cleric, Reverend Nick Donnelly, has urged the international community, or rather International Criminal Court, to issue an arrest warrant for Nigerian Muslim cleric Sheikh Ahmed Gumi over his extremist views. Donnelly made a call in a statement on his X account on Monday. He demanded, his demand comes after Gumi insisted that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. In another viral video, Gumi stated, "Herdsmen are not like the indigenous people of Biafra. They are kidnapping children to make money. Let's be fair with them." You can imagine that rubbish. Reacting, Donnelly argued that Gumi needs to stand trial on charges of crimes against humanity at The Hague, Netherlands. Gumi supports herdsmen, aka Islamist terrorists, kidnapping children to make money. The ICC need to issue an arrest warrant on charges of crimes against humanity. Gumi need to stand trial in Hague, he wrote. This comes amid call for Gumi's prosecution after IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu was recently handed a life sentence for terrorism. A lawyer, Mark Omoribo, recently said Kanu's conviction had exposed the disturbing reality of Nigeria's two-tied justice system that punishes some citizens with ruthless efficiency while shielding others who commit equal or worse offenses in the full public view. The last but not the least, liar Nnamdi Kanu didn't cause the death of 30,000 people in the southeast. IPOB replies Orji Uzokalo. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB has dismissed claims by the former Abia State Governor Orji Uzokalo that the activism of pro-Biafra agitator Nnamdi Kanu led to the death of over 30,000 individuals in the southeast. IPOB described Orji Uzokalo as a liar and a distracted individual for making such a remark. Emma Powerless, the spokesperson of the group, said the declaration arose from a malevolent spirit and a person who has chosen to batter his cane for selfish political gain. A statement by Powerful said Kanu evidence shown that Kanu has consistently been targets of military aggression, violence, and killings backed by the state. The statement reads partly, the worldwide family and movement of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, denounce the irresponsible and false claim from Senator Orji Uzokalo that 30,000 individuals lost their lives due to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's activism in the southeast region. IPOB extremely upset and enraged by Orji Uzokalo's false statements, as his assertions are entirely fabricated and part of a deliberate campaign to undermine IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The insecurity, fatalities, and devastation that occurred in the East were orchestrated by the Nigerian government and certain Eastern politicians to blackmail IPOB and Eastern Security Network, ESN. The IPOB struggle has remained non-violent despite the Nigerian system employing infamous security forces to arrest, torture, forcibly disappearance, and carry out extrajudicial killings of numerous IPOB members. The evidence shows that IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has consistently been targets of military aggressions, violence, and killings backed by the state. The Nigerian government and its corrupt politicians like Orji Uzokalo are as malicious as they come, accountable for all the insecurity, unidentified gunmen in the East, and the terrorists throughout the nation. IPOB has demanded impartial investigations into the violence and death occurring in Southeast since 2015. Unfortunately, to this day, the disgraced government and its infamous politicians have yet to permit an independent investigation into all the matters. They are aware of the murderers, just as the North elites are involved in the terrorist activities in the North. Certain Eastern politicians, especially those in the APC party, are complicit in the insecurity affecting the Southeast as a region. It is regrettable that Orji Uzokalo was one of those who collided with Tinubu's government to continue Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in isolation in Sokoto prison, allowing them to disseminate falsehoods about him and the IPOB he leads. It is clear to all and sundry that Dr. Orji Uzokalo employed the feared Bakassi boys and slaughtered over 100,000 Igbo youths extrajudicially in Abia State and the Southeast region while he was governor of Abia State. During Uzokalo's tenure as governor of Abia State for 8 years, remains an economic and security burden till this day. Anyway, my wonderful people, I hope we take a bad break and I go hear our voice again when we come back. Like, share, comment, keep subscribing. Please follow us on all our social media handles. And as you do that, may God Almighty continue to follow you for the betterment of your own self and that of your household. It shall be well with you and every member of your family.